Hello, welcome to Pilates Matwork. And today we're going to have a nice practice without any props officially. But what that also might mean for some of you is if you do like a strap or a stretchy band to just stretch with, you're welcome to bring that in. I'm not going to cue anything with it, but if you like it, you can bring it in. I have a little folded mat here that I like to use for the low back for certain exercises. You're welcome to bring that in as well. And for the short period of time that we're going to be on all fours, if you need a knee cushion, like a folded blanket or a pillow, you're certainly welcome to bring that in. My knees are a little cranky today, so I'm going to use a folded blanket when we get to that. But we will start standing. So from here, what I want you to do is take your feet about hip width apart. Good. And kind of lift the toes and find the big toe mounds, the pinky toe mound, and both edges of the heel. And then once you've got that, you can lower the toes. And I'm going to zip up here so my knees are soft, meaning they're here and not locked here. Okay. So when they're locked here, this puts the pelvis in an anterior tilt. We want it to be in a little bit more of a neutral position. So just kind of be aware of habit patterns. Let's take a big inhale and reach. Exhale, bend those knees and come down. And press up through the heels. And take that down. And we'll do that one more time. Coming all the way up. And exhale, bringing the hands back down. Good. Now I'm going to take my right arm up. I'm going to get a nice side bend towards my left. I'm really pressing through this right side. And I want this arm to be nice and long. Because when we have a long arm, we get more connection on the side. When we bend it like this, we lose it. We want a nice long arm. And then I'm going to come back to center and I'm going to switch. And you also notice where this shoulder is. Does it pop forward? Can you take it a little bit farther back where it's more in line with the hip? And we'll come back. We're going to do that again. Big inhale and reach. Exhale, taking that over. And coming back to center and switch. And coming back to center. Taking the hands behind the head, letting the shoulders relax, taking the elbows up to the side, belly button is in, and we're just going to rotate here. Now, my hips and my knees are moving with me as they need to move. And if this feels okay for your body today in this moment, then you are welcome to stay here. But those of you that are ready for a little bit more challenge, keep the hips forward and keep the rotation in the torso only. So this is harder than it looks. This took me a little bit of a while to perfect here. But we do what we can when we can. Good. Now, from here, I'm going to take my arms down. And we're going to go into just a little bit of a breath work now that we're a little bit loosened up. So I'm just going to take my hands right on the low rib cage. As I inhale through the nose, I want to expand that rib cage. And then as I exhale through the mouth, kind of think about a deflation of the belly. So I'm taking that belly button in towards the spine just a little bit more. So I'm going to inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Good. And we want to try and use that breath throughout the practice. So if I could forget to cue it, just really try to go on that inhale and inflate the lungs. Good. Let's go into a little bit of footwork, a little bit of balance here. So I'm going to take my feet hip width apart. Good. I'm pressing through all corners and I'm going to lift my heels straight up and straight back down. So this can also be done if you need to hold on to a piece of furniture. If you've got a long weighted stick, something like that you can use. You can also hold on to a wall if you need to do that. Just get what you need from where your balance is today. Woo! I'm fighting not to fall forward there on that one. Good. Good. Now let's alternate here. I'm just bending the knees. Notice how I'm keeping my hips even. So I'm not shifting from side to side. I'm just keeping them nice and even as I move. Good. Now, those of you that want just a little bit more challenge, come into a Pilates V position. So I've got about a fifth width apart between my two big toes. My heels are touching, and I'm zipped up nice and tight from heel all the way up through my belly. Now, this is harder than it looks, but when you lift, you want to try to keep the heels together and then lowering that back down. If your heels separate here, and they probably will if you've never done this before, it takes time to get the toning and the connection from here to do that. So, just kind of take it where you need to take it. And if you still want the turnout, but you're like, well, there's no way my heels can touch, then you can come out a little bit wider, and then you can do that here. Okay, just find it where you need to find it. Remember, it's just Pilates, right? All right. And you should feel a nice engagement around the outer side of the glutes here, right around the folds. Good. Now from here, just take a little march coming out of there. And when you're ready, let's just keep that march, maybe coming to the end of our mat. And we're going to take some standing roll downs here. Actually, I'm going to do this one towards the center just so you can see a little bit better. And then I'll move back when we go into the floor. So hip width apart if you're newer or have a back issue. You can zip the feet closer together or together. That'll be more challenge. And then your Pilates V stance is going to be the most challenge. So I'm going to take parallel hip width apart stay. I'm going to zip up. I'm going to imagine that I'm standing up against the wall and I'm peeling off the wall bone by bone. So starting from the crown, I'm going to nod. Belly button is in. And as I roll here, my arms will naturally come forward like a rag doll. They're just going to do what they do. And I want to try to keep my hips over the ankles. If you can't do that without the hips coming back, bend your knees. Good. And then from here, pressing through the feet, getting into the glutes. From the tailbone, you're going to round and come all the way up to standing, shoulders, neck, and head. And we'll do that again. Nodding the chin. Belly button is in nice and tight. Now, this may be a lot to think about right here, but be mindful as to how this feels because we will be doing a seated version of it in a few moments. And the principles are the same with the bone by bone and coming back up. Let's do that one more time. I think one more time is good. So, scooping in. So this is one of those moves that looks easy. Sometimes I make it look really easy. It's not. This one was really hard for me when I first started practicing Pilates. And it just took a long time to get that core connection and the flexibility in the spine. But I didn't give up. I kept working at it, and now I can do it. Good. All right. Let's roll this down and walk this out to a plank. To a plank. So I'm going to scoot back just a little bit here. So again, hip width apart, zipped up together, or your V stance. You're going to choose where you go. And from the crown, we're going to roll that down. Belly button is in. Deep, deep, deep C curve scoop. Keep that belly button into the spine. Bend those knees if you need to. And once you come down, we're going to walk that out to the plank. Good. Knees can be grounded or lifted. Find length in the torso. Hold your place here for a moment, but don't hold the breath. And then once you're ready, it's going to be harder if you lift the hips and walk back. It's going to be easier if you bend the knees and walk back. So you take your path back to the feet, stopping the hips over the ankles, and then you can press into the legs and come up. That's going to, like we did earlier, that's going to be harder, or you can walk your hands up the leg, coming all the way up to standing. We're going to do that one more time. We'll stay down onto the floor this time. So big inhale. Exhale, we're going to nod, peeling off that imaginary wall, scooping in that belly button, rolling down. with control. One of the Pilates principles is control. Good. And we'll walk that out. Find your plank, knees lifted or grounded. Push that floor away. We don't want to hang here like this. Push it away. Take the knees down if you need that shoulder support. Breathe. Breathe. So if on the floor planking is hard for you, start at a wall. And then start at a chair or something where you can kind of get that angle. And then get lower and lower to the floor. Build up to it. Good. And then from here, we're going to take the knees down. I'm going to come back, child's pose. Good. So while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and bring in my knee cushion. We're going to be on all fours here for a moment. So whatever kind of cushion you need to make your knees happy, good. We'll just bring that in. Now, we're going to go into some cat-cow here. If this isn't comfortable on your wrist, you can always take forearms to the floor on this one. Another option, if you've got a couple yoga blocks, you can lift yourself up a little higher, taking forearms to the floor as well. So belly button is in, tops of the feet are down, knees are about hip width apart. They can be wider apart if you've got a cranky back. Inhale, chest comes forward, pelvis tilts back, nice cow pose. Exhale, we're going to round, mad cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And one more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Good. Now from here, if you need to come back and decompress, take it. Okay. We're going to take this into a thread the needle, So from here, good. I'm going to start. My left side is closest to you, so that's the side I'm going to start with here. So belly button is in. My left arm's going to come out. I'm going to take it behind the right as I come down onto the shoulder. Hips stay over the knees. The top of the head may or may not touch. My ear does not touch the floor. I'm going to take my right hand out a little bit wider so I have a little bit more support here, but my ear is not touching the floor. So I've got a nice long line from the top of the head all the way to the tailbone. If you press the ear to the floor, look what happens. You don't have that nice long line. This is also bad for the neck to practice that way over time. So get it nice and long. Use the right hand and right shoulder to help you press up out of there, coming back center. And we'll take that to the other side. Right arm comes out. Scoop it behind the left. Taking it down. Hips stay over the ankles. Good. I'm going to take my left hand out a little bit. Nice long line from the top of the head to the tailbone. My ear is not touching the floor. I'm breathing. And then once you're ready, I'm pressing into that left hand to help me come back up. Good. Let's take a nice opposite arm, opposite leg series here. So I'm going to start by taking the left foot back, pressing evenly into big toe and pinky toe mount, pressing through that heel, dropping that left hip slightly. Shoulders are away from the ears. Elbows can have a micro bend in them. And then once you're ready, good, we'll come back forward. Good, you can just do the leg if you want to. Just do the arm with the toe grounded, or you can lift both. Kind of get it where you need to get it. So it's my left leg and right arm. My right ear is next to my right arm, and my belly button is in. Good. Now from here, inhale, exhale. We're going to round. Nice and slow. Inhale and reach. Nice and slow. One more time. Exhale, round. Nice and slow. Inhale, reach. Nice and slow. Now, you can take a break here or find a little diagonal. It's a little bit harder. Toe can come down or stay lifted. Breathe. Maybe smile. Relax that face. And then I'm going to bring that back in. I'm going to take that down. Good. Get a little child's pose here, decompress. We're going to take that to the other side. So coming back forward, finding all fours. Right foot's going to come back, pressing evenly into big toe and pinky toe mound, letting that right hip drop slightly. Good breathing, pressing in and forward into the mat. And then once you're ready, good, we'll come forward. Just the leg, just the left arm, or arm and leg together. Good. Press out of the supporting shoulder. Careful not to take the leg too high. We want a nice long back here. Good, left ear by the left arm. Good, and here we go. Big inhale. Exhale, round, elbow, knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round, elbow, knee. Inhale, lengthen. Maybe take it to a diagonal. Toe can come down if you need it to. Belly button is in. And then taking it back center and bringing that down. Take a nice juicy child's pose here. Knees maybe a little bit wider, arms a little bit longer. And then I'm going to come up a little bit. I'm going to walk my hands over to my left. I'm going to walk my right fingertips forward, lifting my hip, shifting the hip towards the right, getting a little bit more of a stretch on that right side. And then I'm going to come up back to center. Okay. And then I'm going to take that over to the right, walking left fingertips forward, lifting hips, pressing in the right hand, thinking towards the left side. And then once you're ready, it will come up and come back. Good. We're going to come onto our backs now. I'm going to remove my knee cushion out of the way. I will not need it for the rest of this time. So I'm just going to really take it out of the way. Good. So from here, as I come onto my back, okay, we're going to take this into some bridging. So making sure your feet are not too far away or too close, and everything hip, knees, and toes are tracking parallel hip width apart. I'm going to roll my shoulders back. Let's do this one with robot arms today. So I'm going to take my palms toward each other. The fingertips are going to come towards the ceiling. And so then when I come up into this bridge, I'm going to press into the elbows, the back of the arms, and the shoulders. So from here, let's do this articulating if you can, rocking the pelvis back, heeling up, bone by bone, coming all the way up into the bridge. And then I'm going to lower from the mid-back, through the rib cage, through the lumbar, to the sacrum, and back to safe neutral. Now, something I forgot to mention here, if you have a deep lordotic curve and you come down and you've got a low back that just doesn't touch the floor here, you can use that little pad for this bridge and press it under there. So then when you do this articulation down or what have you, you've got the contact that you need underneath here. Okay, so just a little tip. So we'll come back here. Good. Rocking back through the sacrum, through the lumbar, through the rib cage, up through the mid-back. I'm going to hold this right here. Good. Now from here, I'm going to reach my right leg about knee height. And then I'm going to lift, I'm going to bend, I'm going to sweep. There's one. Ooh. 2, 3, 4, sweep it out. Then take the foot down, even it up, roll it down, bone by bone. We're going to come back up. We'll hit that other side. So rocking it back through that sacrum, through the lumbar, through the rib cage, up to the mid-back. Really press in. The left leg's going to reach. I'm going to lift and bend. and sweep it forward. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bending that knee, putting the foot down, even up those hips, and we'll roll that down, bone by bone. Once you get all the way down there, bring those knees into the chest, grab behind them, and rock, rock, rock side to side. Okay. Let's go into some chest lifts with some rotation. The knees are going to come to the floor. I'm going to come, so in yoga, we call this temple mudra. Some people call this Charlie's Angel. However you want to think about it, just take that up nice and tall. I'm going to zip up. As I come up, I'm going to come up and rotate and reach towards the right. And then I'm going to take that back down. And I'm going to come up now and reach towards the left. And down. And exhale to the right. And down. And exhale to the left. And down. One more time each side. To the right. Hips stay grounded. And down. Exhale to the left. And down. Good. Give yourself a little break if you need it. We're going to take this right into the 100. Feet can be grounded where they just were. They can be in tabletop. You can take them to a long line. Taking your legs into a Pilates V here, if you're going to lift them up, will be the most challenging. So you choose. Arms are up. I'm going to see curve and lift up. I'm going to reach long. Now I'm going to take my legs long. The lower you take them, the harder it is. Relaxing the shoulders as I pump my arms. Long and strong. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, gaze on thighs. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift the chest higher. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, reach deeper. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 5. Inhale, hold. Lift the chest higher, reach deeper with those arms. And take that down. Woo. Wiggle, 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 side to side. Take head and neck, side to side. Now, we're going to go into roll ups and roll downs. We're going to do some half ones to begin. So I'm going to roll over to my side and come up to a seat. So from here, excuse me, you shouldn't need this just yet, but do have it handy if you're going to use that for your back. Sorry. Allergy season, y'all. So from here, we're going to bend the knees. We'll be about hip width apart. We're going to hold on right here. Sit up nice and tall. Belly button is in. Good. You're going to tuck that tailbone as you scoop in that belly button. And you're going to roll back until your arms are nice and long. And then from here, without pulling on the leg, keep that C-curve scoop as you come all the way forward. And then I'm going to roll up to a tall seat. Good. We'll do a little bit of a change up with that this time. So inhale, exhale, tuck the tailbone, scoop in that belly button, come back to where your arms are long. And then from here, as I scoop, I'm going to lengthen my legs a little bit, but I'm not letting it jerk me forward. I'm still in control. And then I'm going to take that all the way forward. And now if you want to reach, you can. From here, I'm going to stack bone by bone. Now, if what we just did is all you want to do today, you want to keep the knees bent, you want to lengthen them on your return, on the half, you're welcome to. You're also welcome to just completely roll down, roll over to your side, come back to a seat and stay that. Those of you that are going to follow me, we're going to take this, making sure I'm in the right spot here. We're going to take this all the way down and then all the way back up. So from here, big inhale, exhale, tucking that tailbone, scooping, keeping the shoulders down. That's hard for me sometimes. I'm going to roll that back with control. Maybe reaching with a nice full body stretch. Inhale, arms up. Exhale. Look and reach towards the feet. And coming back forward. Good. Now I need this just a little bit lower than where I had it. Good. Big inhale. Exhale, scooping. Rolling, 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 rolling. Taking that down. Inhale, exhale. Good. And rolling forward. Good. So remember, as you come up, as you get stronger, as you become better, legs stay grounded, and you want to come up through center. You don't want to try not to veer towards one side or the other. You also don't want to whip your arms up because that's momentum. That's not core at all. Inhale, exhale. And round forward. Let's do one more. Keep that scoop if you can as you come back. Okay. Inhale, exhale. Good. Now, from here, we're going to take this back down. We're going to stay down. Some people have had some trouble keeping the hips grounded, not rocking side to side in some of the series of 5 exercises. Some people have been having trouble keeping the pelvis stable and not rocking back and forth in exercises. So if you're one of those people, have your little prop here and see if that helps you. Okay, so I'm going to demo with it. I don't need it, but I'm going to demo with it just so that you can see. And just, try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but never hurts to try. So knees are going to come to tabletop here. Good. Arms are going to come up. I'm going to nod my chin and come up. Good. Single leg stretch. Right knee comes in, left leg goes long. I'm pulling and reaching. And here goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And bring that down. Good. Single straight leg stretch. We're going to let's start on the other side. So left leg can come up, right leg can go long. I'm going to walk up here as high as I can go. You might be down here. That's okay. We go where we can go. And we're going to pulse, pulse, switch. Pulse, pulse, switch. 2, pulse, pulse, switch. Pulse, pulse, switch. 3, pulse, pulse, switch. Pulse, pulse, switch. 4, pulse, pulse, switch. Pulse, pulse, switch. 5, pulse, pulse, switch. Pulse, pulse, switch, and 6. Pulse, pulse, switch. Pulse, pulse, switch. And bring that down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. Double leg stretch. Double leg stretch. It's easier if you're in parallel legs and feet. It's harder if you take it in external rotation. So you choose your challenge. I'm going to exhale and come up. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And take that down. All right. Double straight leg stretch. I'm going to take my legs up. Parallel's easier. External, that Pilates V is harder. You can also take hands under the hips here. You can move this padding here down. If you've been using that, you can be in a C curve or upper body grounded. Choose your talent. I'm going to take a C curve today, I think, but you choose what you need. We're going to inhale in the lower, stay in neutral pelvis. Exhale to lift. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bend the knees and take that down. All right. Last one here is the crisscross. Remember, rotation is from the torso. Hips don't lift. They stay grounded. You can use your padding if you need to. Hands are going to come behind the head. Elbows are going to stay wide. You're going to lead with the shoulder. The legs are doing the same thing they do for single leg stretch. So from here, big inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale. And last set. and take that down. Good work, everybody here. While we are here, let us roll like a ball. Roll like a ball. So some people, again, if you need that connection in the spine, you can put this here to help you. If you don't need that, you can remove it. And I don't need mine for rolling like a ball. So you can come behind, you can come here. You choose where you want to be. Just don't whip your legs around. And here goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Did you hold a balance here? Hold your balance. Hold your balance. Hold your balance. And when you're ready, could you take your feet down and roll that down? Maybe with a little bit better control than I have. Let's take some stretches. Bend those knees into tabletop legs. Take those knees to the right. Look to the left. Left shoulder stays grounded if you can. Breathe and expand that rib cage. You should feel really good after those abdominal exercises. And once you're ready, head can come back to center, one leg at a time, or use your abs to bring you back in. And once ready, we'll take those knees over to the left, looking to the right. Breathe and expand. And once you're ready, we're going to come back to center. Good. And then we're going to take this into a hamstring stretch. So your left leg can stay bent. It can come long. Take it where you need to take it. Good. Holding behind the right leg. Let your hands come up as high as they can go. You can point and flex that foot here. Keeping the toes towards the face will give you your deepest stretch. My ponytail is not in the best spot for my head. I'm just going to roll my ankles around here because that feels good. Good. Now from here, you can take a yogi toe work, but if you can reach it, you can keep your hand anywhere on the outside of here. Belly button is in, both hips stay grounded. Take that right leg out to the right. This is also the place where you can use a strap. And if you can't quite reach the foot, but you need to hold on to something, or maybe you don't need to, but just want to, always a good reason. And then coming back in. Good. I'm going to take my hand on the outside. I'm just going to kind of arc over. You can kind of wiggle around here, find your best spot. You're trying to get to the outside of the hip and maybe the outside of the thigh. And then we'll come back here. Good. We're just going to take 4 circles to each side. We're going to keep both hips grounded today. So belly button is in. Good. And I'm going to come out. I'm going to cross the midline of the body. 1. With control 2. With control 3. And 4. And now I'm going to reverse, crossing the body. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. And then I will switch sides here. So your right knee can be bent. That leg can be long. We're going to bring the left knee in for a moment. Good. Taking that leg long. Reach up as high as you can go. You can stay here. You can point and flex the foot. You can roll the ankle around. Give yourself what you need. This feels so good right now. And then from here, good. Take your outside grip where it is you need to be. And we're going to let that leg come out to the left, right hip, not the heel, but right hip stays grounded. But I suppose if your right leg is long, that heel would be grounded too. Or if the knee is bent, the heel would be grounded. Breathe. And then once you're ready, good, we'll bring that back up. Good, other hand's gonna come somewhere on the outside. Wiggle around here, find your optimal spot. Good, finding that stretch that you need. And when you're ready, we'll come back up. Good. So from here, taking those circles. So when you're ready, good. 4 in each direction. Crossing the midline. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and reverse. 4. Use those abs. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now bend in both knees. Now again, if you need some padding under here, you can bring it in. Now that both legs are stretched, we're going to take this into corkscrew. So kind of think about it somewhat as making half of an infinity sign. And I'm going to take my hands under my hips here for this one. So from here, good. I'm going to go down towards the right, come up to the left, and come back center. And I'm going to go to the left and come back up. I think that's half of an infinity sign again. And just rotate and rotate. Good. Now you can make that infinity sign. I'm going to come out, come up. Sometimes it's fun to just do different little things, if for no other reason, just to see if you can do them. Good. Now coming back up, let's take this into some hip circles. So we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and reverse. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And bend those knees in and rock, rock, rock side to side. Good. From here, we're going to transition. And I'm going to leave you to transition in the way that you need to. Do you want to roll over to the side? Do you want to roll like a ball with me? Do you want to take it long and take a nice roll up here? You find what you need. I'm going to roll like a ball coming up because that's my favorite. And I'm going to come back up. Good. Once you're up there, take your legs at a V position. So you're going to kind of come about mat width apart for the most part. Good. We're going to sit up nicely and tall. Good. So again, kind of envision when we were doing a standing roll down, we're doing this seated. So we're peeling off bone by bone here. So I'm going to nod. Another way to think about it, if you want, is you're diving over a beach ball. I'm keeping that C curve scoop going to where you can go. And then we're going to stack bone by bone, coming all the way up. Let's do that again. Inhale, exhale. Good. We won't do as many of these because we've already done 2 other exercises in this same family. The roll down, roll ups, seated, and standing. So from here, now we're going to take this out to the side. I'm going to take my left arm up, right hand's going to come down. Then I'm going to side bend to my right. Now, when I do that, my left hip is grounded. And then I'm going to come back up, right arm up, left hand down, bending to the left. Right hip is grounded. Remember, nice long arm here. And then we'll come back up. We'll do that again on each side, just so that you get 2 on each side. I'm really squeezing that low rib cage and the top of the hip bone together. And coming back up. And other side. And coming back up. Let's take this into saw. So from here, I'm going to start by going to this leg first. So I'm going to rotate. I'm going to reach and round, trying to feel pinky toe off at the pinky finger. Hip bones are grounded, and then I'm going to stack and come back. Rotate, reach and round, find the stretch, and coming back center one more time each side. Rotate, reach and round, and coming back up, and rotate, reach and round, and coming back up. Good. We're going to come onto our belly, on to the belly. So however you want to get to the belly, get to the belly, also known as prone. Good. So once I'm down here, I'm just going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle my hips, just because it feels good. And then we're going to take a couple swans. So if swan is not for you, maybe do a little bit of a sphinx pose here, belly button is in. And on your inhale, this might be where you go. Okay, others are going to come up a little higher. So if you're going to do a higher one, start hands under the shoulders and take them a little bit forward, maybe to the edge of the mat, rolling shoulders back. Here we go. Zip up that front body. Legs are hip width apart. Good. Inhale, find your swan. And we're going to slowly lower down. And as you do so, could you find a little bit more length between each vertebrae? Good. As you come back to the floor. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, exhale. Shoulders are down and back as you lift. No crunching in the low back. And then as we lower, we're going to come down bone by bone. Good. Now from here, let's get a little stretch. I'm going to start on my left side. I'm going to bend that left knee. I'm going to reach back, grab foot, pants, or ankle. Just find that nice quad stretch. So from here, I'm just lengthening a little bit from the hip to the knee. That gives me just a little bit of a deeper stretch. And then when you're ready, we'll switch sides. I'm going to bend that right knee now, reaching where I can reach. Good. I'm just going to reach from that hip to the knee. And then releasing and taking that down. Coming up onto the forearms here, we'll go into some single leg kick, a short series of that. So try not to hang here. Really press out of there. Belly button is in. Good. And then from here, starting on the left side, we're going to squeeze that glute. And we're going to squeeze, squeeze, lower. Squeeze, squeeze, lower. Squeeze, squeeze, lower. Squeeze, squeeze, lower. Flex, point, lower. Flex, point, lower. Flex, point, lower. Flex, point, lower. And then from here, good. Take the hands under the shoulders, press back, child's pose. Good. When you're ready, we're going to take this into a side series. So I'm going to come forward. I'm going to be on my right side first. So you can be here up on the forearm. Make sure that you're lifted in the shoulder. You're not hanging here. You can be here. You can be here. I'm going to be here. Be where you can be. Good. Now, if you're more of a beginner, you can bend this bottom knee. That'll help a little bit with balance. A little bit more advanced. You can take a nice long stack, and you want to be on the hip bone. It should feel like if your hand's not here, you're going to roll forward. If it doesn't feel like that, you're probably back on the glutes. So you want to be on that hip bone. Cushion that bottom hip bone if you're a little bit bony. Good. So from here, good. I'm going to turn this top hip, knee and toe forward. Good. I'm going to flex as I lift. I'm going to point, bend, and drag. And flex and lift, point, bend, and drag. Flex, lift, point, bend, and drag. Flex, lift, point, bend, and drag. Now we're going to reverse that. I'm going to drag, lift, flex on the down, point, drag, lift, flex on the down, point, drag, lift, flex on the down. One more time. Point, drag, lift, flex on the down. Good. Let's take this into some circles. So from here, belly button is in. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and reverse. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's get this into a kick. So I'm going to bring this knee down. Okay, my heel is pointing more towards the ceiling. I'm going to drive through the hip and the heel, and we'll go forward. Press and bend, and press and bend, and press and bend, and press and bend. Good. From here, we're going to come back on to the belly, back onto the belly. We're going to take swimming here. So from here, legs are going to be about hip width apart. Arms are going to come forward. Now, another thing you can do here too. So eventually, as you progress, you rock less and less because you have more control. Having that padding under the hip bones here might help some of you with that, just as a FYI. Good. So from here, I'm reaching. As I squeeze that left glute and lift that left leg, I'm going to reach and lift that right arm. And then I'm going to switch and switch and switch and switch and switch and switch. You can stay at this slower pace. You can pick it up a little bit. If you go too fast, you'll rock. So be mindful, be where you're in control. Bottom is engaged, back of the shoulders are engaged, belly's engaged. We're breathing. And then once you're ready, good. We'll take that down. You can press back, child pose. And we're going to take that side series on the other side. So now I'm going to come onto the left side or do the opposite of what you did before. So again, and try to do the same arm that you did before as well if possible. So legs are long and a nice long parallel stack, or your bottom knee can be bent. You choose. Top leg, hip, knee, and toe. We're going to turn towards the ceiling. And here we go. I'm going to flex, point, bend, and drag. Flex, lift, point, bend, drag, flex, lift, point, bend, drag. Now I'm going to reverse that. I'm going to point and drag, lift, flex, and lower. Point, drag, lift, flex, lower, point, drag, lift, flex, lower, point, drag, lift, flex, and lower. Good. Taking this into some circles, 4 in each direction. Here we go. 1. Watch that for control. 2, 3, and 4. And reverse. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now bend that knee down, flexion in the foot. Here we go. Drive. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. We'll lower. We're going to come back onto the belly. We're going to make our way to a downward facing dog, So I'm just going to come through a tabletop position. I'm going to press my hands in and forward into the mat as I tuck my toes, lift my knees, and lift my hips. Good. Now your heels don't have to touch the floor, but I'm turning my elbows forward so I'm nice and strong in that upper body and my belly button is in. And just go into walking the dog here. So really pressing through the feet, get into the feet. Sneaky footwork here. It's also just nice to stretch the back of the legs after that work we just did. Good. Now we'll just lower and lift here. And then from here, once you're ready, bending the knees, we're going to walk the hands back towards the feet, trying to stop the hips over the ankles. Good. Pressing into the legs and the feet. We're going to round, stacking bone by bone. Let's take a nice roll down here. Big inhale, exhale, nodding the chin. Rolling that down. Bone by bone, just like we did in the beginning. Taking your time to get to your destination. And then from here, pressing through and rounding, bone by bone. Make the legs work. If you're strong in the legs, they will work, and they'll keep it out of the back. One more time. Inhale, exhale, nodding the chin, scooping in the belly, taking that down. Good. And then once you're ready, good, we'll take that back up. Coming back up. Good. Last stretch here. Right arm is up. Take a nice side bend towards the left. And coming back to center and taking that side bend towards the right. And coming back center. Good, way to go. You made it through this mat work series. I hope you got a great workout and see you again real soon.